Taiwan has thanked President Biden for telling his Chinese counterpart that Washington remained opposed to any action that would change the status of the self-governing island. The Foreign Ministry in Taipei said it had been briefed by US officials after Mr. Biden's 2-hour call with Xi Jinping. I've been speaking to the BBC's Monica Miller, who had more details on what was said during that call.
What we do know is that it was a lengthy discussion between the two leaders, and the White House is saying it was direct, in-depth, and straightforward. Chinese President Xi Jinping has warned President Biden against playing with fire over Taiwan. He wasn't mincing words on this particular topic and said that the U.S. should abide by the One China principle that it had agreed to, and that it poses any reference to Taiwanese independence and outside interference as a no-go. Now, President Joe Biden has said that Taiwan, the United States policy, hasn't been changed and that he's not trying to change the status quo. He doesn't want to undermine peace or stability across the Taiwan Straits. Now, what has brought this to attention is that U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has said that she is considering a visit to Taiwan, which has been an issue for many years between the two countries and really in the crosshairs of a lot of tension, and tensions between the two countries are at an all-time low. So he was sending a very stern message, President Xi Jinping, to the U.S. not to undermine what has been established.
Monica, the two did discuss a possible face-to-face meeting, didn't they?
They did. They did leave the door open because it's not just Taiwan. The two countries really have a lot to discuss right now. In particular, they're the two biggest economies in the world, and they have a lot in common in terms of suffering from supply chain issues, the war in Ukraine. That is something that everyone can feel around the globe. But they also have issues of climate change, health issues. There is a host of discussions that I don't know if they, even in that 2-hour discussion, were able to cover all of those topics. So their aides are saying that the door is still open, and then maybe sometime in the near future, they may have a face-to-face meeting. That may happen later this year when the two leaders actually come to Asia in Bangkok and Bali for the G20 around November. We might see something happen then.
And what, if any, more reaction can we expect from Taipei?
Well, you know, they've been rather mum about this visit from Nancy Pelosi. She is headed to Asia within a couple of hours. We expect her to make a stop in Japan as well as Indonesia and even here in Singapore. But it is unclear if she's going to have any sort of stopover in Taiwan. But again, even just the discussion that she had made publicly a couple of days ago that she might stop has really made this situation between these two countries much, much worse. And this has been a time for China to really, speak out and say where they stand on the issue and what will happen if the U.S. crosses that line.
Monica Miller there.